Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, and welcome back to Balancing Unhinged. My name is Amber. I'm the Shah of Saint Augustine, and today I have a very special guest, my new friend, David
Vara.
Vara. And he is my new Marine Corps League. Which one are you now? Adjunct?
I just presently been elected to judge advocate.
Judge advocate of the Marine Corps League in St. Augustine, number
Detachment 383.
383. So we welcome you to join us here in St. Augustine in Detachment 383, or wherever you are, find your own Marine Corps League detachment to become a member, whether or not you've actually served yourself in the Marine Corps or have interest in supporting the Marines and the Marine Corps League, because there are so many awesome things that they do. And I actually came across David's post on Facebook where they were promoting this upcoming meeting. And since, as some of you might know, I was trying to become a Marine back in the day, so I love all things Marines. And in a past life, or in a future past mental, dimension, in another dimension, I was a Marine. So I like to roll with that. Semper Fi, do or die. The few, the proud. I wish I was one of them, but now I sort of am. So that's cool.
You are.
But tell me about you. You're from Ohio?
Yeah, I grew up in Columbus, Ohio. I was there till I graduated high school at 17, and that's when I committed to an oath of being a Marine.
Fantastic. And even more cool because I, did have my sights on being a Marine Corps pilot. So I went to flight school, and that was pretty much the beginning of the end. But either way, you ended up becoming a pilot yourself, right?
No, I am a private pilot.
Okay.
I myself, sort of in your shoes, tried to test out to be a pilot, but that's when I discovered I had a night blindness problem.
Oh, yeah.
And here for me, I thought everybody couldn't see at night. But understandably so, that was a disqualifier. So I went in as an aircraft mechanic.
Okay. All right. Cool. Cool. I actually, so my father, we were stationed in 1992 until 1994 in Belgium at the SHAPE NATO headquarters. And he was like the chief of police, but his office was inside the hangars. We were always like right next to the Sapir's plane all the time. So that kind of like inspired me to be a pilot. But also, you were saying, and I think that we were talking about this last time we were on the phone, like the Where Were You in 9/11 story. And I was like, I kind of do like the podcast thing because I was in TV club on 9/11. And you were like, what were you doing?
I had an interesting position at that time. The company now is called NetJets. At the time, it was Executive Jet in Columbus, Ohio. That's their headquarters. And I was in maintenance control. So basically, that's a position that takes care of all the maintenance program for the jets that fly around. And during 9/11, as we all remember, there was a air restriction. So all the flights around the U.S. were shut down 100%.
Oh, yeah, shut down.
So they allowed certain aircraft to be off the ground, and our company was chosen as one of those instruments used to fly people like government officials, military dignitaries. We were busy. So for about 48 hours, it was nonstop of moving dignitaries around to basically get them to DC.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. That sounds very stressful. So that rolls right into the topic of conversation, right? What do you do to relax? So maybe like on that day, okay, like bring it back to 9/11, you finally got out of work after 48 hours, right? Or 72 hours straight.
Yeah.
Aside from going to sleep, how do you stay balanced?
I like to go to as my family is my heart, my spirit, my soul. It keeps me balanced because somebody in my family is always doing something. If it's crazy, if it's a touching moment, if it's something inspirational, it just that's my go-to. So I have two sons, two grandsons, and they keep me busy, but they also keep me balanced.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So how old are your grandkids now?
My oldest one is 14, and my youngest just turned 9 months.
Oh, Oh, that's great.
Mhm.
That's so fun. Yeah, my kids are like 9 and 11, and I'm just constantly going crazy in between like all their stuff that they have going on. Even in the middle of this podcast, my husband's got to go pick up my son from some sort of a camp or whatever. And then later on today, my daughter's going to want to go ice skating. She has to do aerial dance still. It's even in the summer, always something going on, always something. So, what do your kids do that makes you proud that you get to like go watch them and stuff?
Well, my oldest grandson, he has a rather blessed path right now. He wrestles.
Oh, cool.
He's in the 7th grade, and he just won the Florida High School State Championship. Uh, and that's kind of unheard of. He's the first one to do it as a 7th grader. He just won the North Florida Athlete of the Year, and recently he was just given the Florida High School Athlete of the Year. He went
wow.
38-0 as a 7th grader, and I just tell you, he's put in the work. My oldest son, Joey, his father, he really just gave it his all, and now they're reaping the rewards of that.
That's awesome. That's so cool. Do you get to go to watch the matches and stuff?
I try not to miss anything.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Next week, we're going to be going up to my family. We are from the Boston area. So we're going to go do the summer in Boston, and we go for 2 weeks, and then we leave the kids there for another 2 weeks, and they get to stay with my in-laws. But then my in-laws actually live close to my sister, my own sister, and then my mom lives with her. So they're all going to go on like a trip or something. My sister's going to take my kids out for some sort of a family vacation. So family's important, and like growing up with your cousins and getting to know everybody and getting all that. I think it's good. It's really good. Because then being down here, we moved down here, we have like no family, but then it's hard because, having no family, and then you're like trying to make good friends and everything, but then they end up like being like, oh, well, I need to go do family stuff because the family's more important.
Right.
So it's interesting. We're trying to see if my in-laws move down here. We'll see how that goes. But yeah. So then do you get to babysit the baby?
I'm kind of not trusted yet. She sees how I interact with him. Like when my 2 boys were 9 months old, they were walking and swimming, and mom's not ready for any of that right now. That's her first, so she wants to be a little easy, and she knows I'm gonna treat them like bigger boys than they probably are.
It's funny. It's hilarious. So I've got nieces that are 18, right? And then my daughter is 11, so she's quite younger than the other ones. But when I was little, I grew up on the back of my dad's motorcycle, literally at the age of 5. I remember being in kindergarten, going on rides with my dad in Italy, and we only lived there until I was in 2nd grade. So, like now, and then he's got the grandkids. So before I even had my kids, I had nieces, and I'm like, so are you going to take them on the motorcycle now that they're 5 or 6? And he's like, hell no. He's like, only an idiot would do something like that. I'm like, oh yeah.
I guess I'm an idiot.
I must have had more siblings, and we just forgot about them. But anyways, so what else? And then for the Marine Corps League, you're running the Toys for Tots, and I was surprised to hear that it was like an all-year thing.
Yeah, the Marine Corps League, we're a major contributor to the Toys for Tots program. St. Johns County, we have a very successful program. This past year, I was just elected as the St. Johns County Toys for Tots coordinator. That position basically is an all-year position. It's not as busy as it is from October to December. It's madness during that period. We are constantly promoting contributions from not only our civic partners, but the government, the various programs that have charitable arms to reach out. It's a big undertaking, but it's all worth it. Like last year, I think we collected something like 15,000 toys, a little bit over $42,000, and all of that went to roughly 3,200 families here in St. Johns County.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I used to do Toys for Tots like growing up, like all the time. So I remember even probably like being part of it. I think that like I remember being in Belgium one time, going and like everybody lines up and everybody just gets like something random. But still, it was fun. It was fun. It was really cool. because especially, yeah, like being a military kid, and I had a sister with a different mom, so we had like child support going out,
Mhm.
which I got to hear about. That's fun. That's a fun upbringing. Like, oh no, we can't do it because of the child support. Anyways,
All right.
so growing up, we were kind of poor too, and then like feeling like, oh well, we get like an extra something from whoever. It was kind of cool, kind of cool. So
Well,
Toys for Tots is a really good program. I like it.
a little
It's fun.
testimony I like to share with Toys for Tots is a little bit like you. I grew up in what we would call now as a underprivileged family.
Yeah.
There were 7 of us with just a single parent, and if you got a toy, that was a big Christmas. And fortunately, there's programs out there that if the parents can go out and find out how to apply for them, they're available. But the exposure of getting that message out, that's another challenge. And it was programs like that that made our Christmas, let's say, satisfying. And now it's my turn to give back. And I can't tell you how many eyes lit up last year of these kids that probably would have never had a Christmas if it wasn't for a program like Toys for Tots. So it's very inspirational to me.
Fun, fun. And then, what other programs does the Marine Corps League do? Because there was like a whole long list of them that they do.
Yeah, our fingers are in a little bit of everything. If you think about the veteran in itself, the veterans have a lot of needs. It's from, say, the nursing home, the state nursing home, the federal nursing homes. We try to support them in any way we can. There is programs for uh, things like wounded warriors. There is programs that basically allow a veteran, no matter what need or state of need they're in, there's an outreach that can support them. And through our fundraising abilities, and that's what we are, we're a 100% charitable organization. All the funds we bring in, we kind of dish that out to all the various veteran support programs to support all those various veteran needs.
Okay, very cool. Very cool. And then you've been in St. Augustine for like 20 years, huh?
A little bit over 30.
30? Oh,
Mhm.
wow.
Mhm.
Awesome. That's so cool.
Mhm.
How long were you in the Marines?
I was in the Marines for 4 years active duty and 2 years of reserve duty.
Oh, fun. All
Hmm.
right. So then what did you do when you got out?
I went to college.
Yeah.
I had a big aspiration to play in the NFL, play college football, and I picked up a scholarship. I played football and track. I tried out for a couple NFL teams too. Played arena ball 1 year, semi-pro football, but during that whole time, it wasn't paying very much, so I had to work also. So it was you talk about a balance as you speak of in life. I had some balancing to do.
Yeah.
So it was a choice I made to stay in the Marine Corps for 20 years, which that was my original goal. I wanted to go in for 20, but I played football and track for the Marine Corps also. And I just kept getting, I surprised myself. I got better than I even thought I was capable of. And I was approached a couple times by different schools, and I decided to say, you know what, it's now or never. So I jumped and went to college.
Which school?
I started out in Orange County, California, a junior college called Saddleback Community. Now it's called Saddleback State. And then I went on to San Diego State.
Oh, very cool. Very fun.
Mhm.
All right, awesome. So then, were you in the Marines when you started your family and all that too?
No, no, I was rather driven and goal orientated at the time, and I even tried not to have girlfriends at the time.
Yeah.
I was just so laser focused on getting better and growing, and all the money that I had. I tried to split it up to where I sent half of it home. Like I
Yeah.
said, to support mom and my brothers and sisters.
The other 6.
Yeah, and I was taking college courses on the
Mhm.
side, playing sports, being a Marine. And as a Marine, it's not a 9 to 5 kind of job.
Right.
So you got to be very flexible, and you're being deployed all over the country, as well as, I got to go to a couple different countries. But I was rather laser focused back then. So I waited till I was 30 years old before I had my first child.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. Fun. Well, you're reaping the rewards, as you said,
Yeah.
right? What was your degree in?
Aeronautical engineering.
Oh, okay. So then that's why you were able to do the maintenance and the repair continuously?
Yeah, I learned that in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Out of boot camp at Parris Island, I went to Millington, Tennessee. The Navy and Marine Corps share a lot of different schools.
Because the Marine is a division of the Navy, if you didn't know that.
Department of the Navy, and a lot of people say we're the men's department. But yeah, that's where I picked up my initial training for aircraft maintenance. And then after graduation from Tennessee, I was sent to El Toro, which is Orange County, California.
Oh, okay. All right. Fun. All right. Fun. So then your kids got to grow up in St. Augustine mostly, or?
Yeah, one was born in Ohio, and we shortly moved after that to St. Augustine. We were kind of in the area. I wouldn't say St. Augustine the entire 30 years. We was in Palm Harbor. That's a Clearwater community for a couple years, and then my oldest graduated from Flagler Palm Coast High School, and then my youngest, he graduated from St. Augustine High School.
Okay. So what brought you to St. Augustine and landed here?
Originally, it was a job. I got on with Northrop Grumman, and great company. But you got to start there as a contractor. And you could only work for 2 years. Government had a freeze, so I couldn't stay with Grumman. But I caught on with Northwest Airlines, and it was a place that, once you're here in St. Augustine, at least for me and my family, we love this place, and I plan on riding it out. This is where I want to go out at, in St. Augustine, Florida.
I agree. I like St. Augustine. I actually almost ended up in Northport. We were going to move from Massachusetts to Florida, and my dad lives in Lakeland, so I was like, oh, we'll move. I don't know, like sort of near him. I'm not really dying to go to Miami. You know what I mean? And my husband used to live in Panama Beach, which I've never even been there either. But anyways, so we landed on like Northport, Florida. But then we even had an Airbnb all set up. We were ready to go. And they got red tide. And they said, oh, you can't go to the beach for like 3 weeks. And I was like, well, if we leave next week, we can't go to the beach for 2 weeks. I'm not going to move there. So I was like, let's look at the Atlantic. And that was Seminole County, I think, or whatever county it is. But either way, whatever the county. And it was number 2 school district in the state. I was like, well, if they're number 2, who's number 1 anyways? And it turned out it was St. Johns County. So that is what right. And it's crazy because I'm from a town right next to Salem, Massachusetts. So I'm from Lynn, but it's like right next to Salem, very old timey, witchy, whatever, historical and all that baloney. So it's like being here is like very, very similar to sort of like where I'm from anyways. So
yeah, I like to think of St. Augustine as one, it's unfortunately very expensive, but if you're a property owner, you're doing okay. You're going to get back what you put in. The school district, absolutely, but I like the diversity. You got the beach, you got the subdivisions, you got the freeway system. You can go anywhere and everywhere in an hour. Daytona to the south, Jack's Beach to the north, Orlando's not even 2 hours away. I mean, the location is just phenomenal, and the kids love growing up here. But more importantly, you learn to really appreciate it when you see all the various tourists that come to St. Augustine. I mean, literally, they're from around the world. You'll walk down St. George Street, and the people in front of you are speaking German. The people behind you are speaking Russian. The people to the right speaking French, and if you think about what they did for their vacation, they saved up for who knows how long to take this vacation in a place we call home. So it makes you cherish that a little bit more.
Yeah, it does. Me too. I agree. Yeah, the whole area of St. Augustine is a very unique place, and it is interesting. I'm like 5 minutes from the highway, and but I guess you're closer to the airport. the St. Augustine
Hmm.
Airport US 1. But yeah, it's so crazy how like quick it is to get to stuff. Especially because even sometimes you're in Jacksonville and it takes so long to get from like this end to the other end of Jacksonville, or
From
even
light to light, it could take forever.
yeah, going over all those bridges and everything. But even around here, we've got like the 3 different bridges. You're like or even 4 if you include Volano, right? But I'm like, it's so easy. It's not that hard to get around. And then even sometimes I'm going through downtown. I'm like, oh man, this is going to take forever. And it really doesn't. And then people complain about traffic. And I'm like, you haven't sat in like real traffic, you know? I learned how I would do my nails. I did mascara sitting in traffic, literal bumper to bumper traffic. But yeah, it's a really nice place. I love St. Augustine. It's my favorite. Do you ever go on vacations? Where's your favorite place to go on vacation?
Uh, I just did a vacation in the Keys, and I haven't been to the Keys in a very long time. I used to live in Homestead, which is just south of Miami, the basically last city before you go into Key Largo. And man, did it change. It's nothing like what I remember. It's modernized. It's clean. The restaurant and bar scene is second to none. Uh, we did a campsite for a week right on the water. We had a waterfront lot, and it couldn't have been any prettier. It was lobster season, so we're snorkeling around trying to find some lobster, which my son and grandson did. I didn't find any, but it's it was very amazing to see the growth and to think that wow, the Keys are here in our backyard. Why do you need to go to Antigua or Bali or any place like we got it right here?
It's true. It's true. It's like that funny joke. They're like people from Florida go on vacation to other parts of Florida.
Hmm. Hmm.
But for real, I moved here. And as soon as I moved here, the very next summer, so we moved here in like the fall. And then the following summer, I was like, oh, we're going to put the kids up in Boston and then we're going to go on vacation. I'll go somewhere. And I went to Bahamas. So in Bahamas, and I'm like sitting on the beach and I'm like, man, this part of this beach is not as nice as the St. Augustine beach. I could just go to this kind of beach in St. Augustine and didn't have to waste all this money going to the Bahamas.
Right.
And that was like my, second time going to the Bahamas. So I'd been there before, whatever. But I'm like, damn, it is so freaking nice here. And so now, honestly, I have to go like hikes in the mountains and try not to fall off a snowy cliff. So like last year, I went to Colorado and climbed Pikes Peak. And it's funny because before I moved here, I had zero interest in hiking. I'm not a hike. I am now, I guess, but I was not a hiker before. I had no interest in walking in the woods. I don't like being cold, whatever. But it's like being here and having perfect weather all the time. You need to like go and find some sort of a weird, deadly tundra to go float on for a couple of days. Kind of funny.
I got an opportunity to be a national ski patrol for a couple years. And a ski patrol is basically a first aider on skis.
Mm-hmm.
We ski
Do you get the
anywhere.
dog with the barrel on it?
We do. There is a unit with them,
Yeah.
but that wasn't my unit. We basically just kind of roamed the resort and looking for people in trouble.
Yeah.
They might be injured or for instance, 6-month-old pregnant lady was skiing, and which she shouldn't have been to start with. But who am I to judge? So she goes.
No, for real. I'm like that brings me flashbacks. I was pregnant and this lady wouldn't let me do stand up paddle yoga. And I was like, come on, man, I'm a yoga teacher. I'll be fine. She was like, no, for safety reasons, I cannot be responsible for that. Anyways, but yeah, go on.
Yeah. So
Nobody asked, probably.
so she went off the side of the hill. I guess she was trying to stop, and she couldn't. And luckily, she left some very fresh, easy track marks to follow. And that's one of the things we're taught to look for. And I said, "Ooh, somebody went over." So I go over, and sure enough, there she is at the bottom of the little ravine, saying, "Please help me." And we call it in. We got a little toboggan, and we go down and strap her in and pull her up. And it was the following winter. Her and her husband and the baby come out to the resort, and they threw us a big party. I mean,
Aww.
food and everything. It was a thank you for rescuing her and the baby. But you talk about traveling around in the snow and the mountains. There's nothing like it. But at the same time, I'm not that guy who likes the cold. and that adventure of danger, being in the mountains. There's nothing like the beach. And speaking of beach, I keep saying I'll never say this to anybody, but we have a beach here, Matanzas Inlet.
Oh, yes.
A lot of people don't know about that beach.
I actually did a showing down there. It's a neighborhood called Summer Island.
Yes, right next to it.
Gorgeous. You can, if you go to the Summer Island development, and then as soon as you get to the front of it, you go to the right, and there's a drive down. You can drive right on the beach. And it's cool because even for me, I have a minivan and I can't drive on the beach usually, but it's always like padded down hard sand. So I'm like, I can get down there a little bit, but you can go out quite a far ways. So like ankle deep. It's really cute, really
Well,
nice.
on the other side of A1A is the inlet side, and it is, if you did not know where you were, you would think you're in the tropics somewhere.
Well, they have those abandoned houses there too.
It's just beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's kind of creepy, but it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I love it. I love my favorite beach.
Yeah, it's nice, and that's a hike too. I like that. And have you ever gone down to the Marineland dolphin?
Oh yeah.
Place.
Oh yeah.
You ever swam with the dolphins?
I did in the Bahamas, and I went, okay, I did it, but Marineland, what I love about what they do is they're instrumental in bringing marine life back to health.
Yeah.
It's the University of Florida, their marine program. They rescue these injured, near death marine mammals, and they doctor them back to perfect condition and release them back into wildlife. I just think that's so awesome.
Yeah, that's good. It is cool. There was some sort of a thing where they were like trying to sell it, and then they were going to auction it, and then somebody bought it, and then somebody wanted to argue against it. So then some people that were from Green Cove ended up getting it back eventually or whatever. But I think like they were on this like, the educational pathway and trying to keep it from becoming something else. So that's a really cool place. I've gone there, I think one time for one of my kids doing like a field trip or something. And I was like, I really wanted to go like swim with the dolphins at some point or whatever. It's like $80, I think, to go swim with the dolphins. Wow. So if anybody wants to send me a birthday present, because it was just the other day, take a gift card.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Subtle hints, not so subtle hints are the best types of hints. But anyways, so yeah. What else do you like to do for fun?
I think at this stage in my life, and I do call it fun, is volunteering, giving back. I it's a I guess a personal satisfaction that I get, that's my reward. I'm not looking for any thank yous or pat on the backs. It's, I'm retired now. I just recently retired, and I'm not ready to just stop. So what can I do with my time? And it's giving back to my community, and the reward you get from someone that's just glad you're there for them, or you're doing what you can to give back. It's, you can go home and sleep really well.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. Like I work out in the morning, and I do a Zoom workout. I've been doing that for like 5 years now, and it's completely free. And I sometimes accidentally sleep too long and then miss my workout that I'm throwing for myself and my group, But I feel so bad when I miss my own workout because, I let the other people down, because there's generally two people that like always join me. But sometimes we have more. But anyways, in the morning, if I wake up at like 5:45, and then, or if I completely sleep through, and then these people are texting me and they're like, "Hey, you're going to get on the Zoom," and I don't answer, man, I feel bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, doing good feels good, but also yeah, I like volunteering too. I do a lot of volunteer work. I mean, obviously that's what I do. And then I go to like a lot of these like networking groups trying to do different things. It's hard, Yeah, finding the balance is so freaking hard. And then you're just trying to do stuff that makes you feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And then scheduling all these things too. It's like a lot of stuff going on, But we do what we can do. Like you're very busy, even though you're retired, right? And then you're mostly doing volunteering. And it's interesting. The groups that we end up choosing is the Marine Corps group. The Marine Corps League is like your main one.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome. My thing, I have the ADD, so I have like so many different things. I was just like with another group this morning, and then this woman, she even like turned to me and she goes, I even said, I was like, oh, I'm in all these different groups and I just joined this, that, and the other thing. She's like, well, you didn't join this one. And I was like, yes, I did.
Surprise.
Yeah, I was like, what do you mean? We were just together last time and I joined it literally on the phone while I was with you.
That's awesome.
I joined it instantly.
Uh-huh. Don't wait.
No, don't dangle any random stuff. And then she's like, this morning, literally, she was talking about going and joining like the improv group. There's like this new place downtown called the Third Space, and it's an improv place, but they do all different types of I don't want to call them plays, but like events where you can go watch a show and like improv shows and stuff like that, and comedy or whatever. Then the full gamut. Just go look at their schedule. But anyways, so she was like, "Oh man, that sounds like so much fun. I want to go do that." I was like, "Yeah, that does sound like fun. I don't know when the fuck I'd ever get there."
Right.
So she was like, "Oh yeah, every Sunday night." Oh, like Sunday night is terrible for me.
Yeah. I got a little getaway. I like. I got a nice Harley, and I don't ride with a group or anything. But when I get on that and let go, it's my moment of sanity. There is no stress when you're riding. It just something about Mother Nature, that fresh air in your face.
The wind, yeah, it's just like blowing right in your face.
You can ride down the coast. You can be on the highway, which I try to avoid. But that is a true stress reliever.
It is nice, yeah. You do like the bite week and then go down to Daytona and come back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that is nice. My dad used to have. My dad just got rid of his motorcycle like literally only a few years ago, but he was riding, and I was riding with him forever on the back. And it was funny because I remember like one time I was like 19, and then one of my friends had like one of those like crotch rockets or something, and I guess like he's like, oh no, you can't ride on my bike because like girls don't know how to ride like on the back of a motorcycle, whatever. But dude, I mean honestly, it had no back thing for your rear. So I did like at first I almost like fell off because like I said, crotch rocket thing, you have to like be like way up on this thing. It's kind of weird. But anyways, like turning on the turns and whatever, and he was like, "Oh wow!" Like at the end of the ride, he's like, "Nobody's ever like turned with me like that before." I was like, "I've been trained ever since I was little."
That's right.
So I like it, but I've never learned how to drive my own motorcycle, and my husband won't let me, which is fine. Whatever, I'm here. I like to rollerblade. So I like going. I have roller skates, rollerblades.
I've been on rollerblades. I think rollerblading is more dangerous than riding a motorcycle.
Oh my god, it's so fun! It's so fun. I mean, it's hard to rollerblade like on the side of the road these days because honestly, you hit like a little rock and you go flying if you're leaning in the wrong direction. It is kind of dangerous, almost similar to skiing. Even skiing. But imagine if you could speed ski like on the side of the road or whatever. Like that's how I feel like on the rollerblades, right? But yeah, like get rid of the trees and just add cars.
Over in Clearwater, that's Pinellas County.
Yeah.
They have what they call the Pinellas Trail. It's 43 miles long, and it's all paved, and every single morning they blow off the pavement.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
It's kept pristine, and you're going through all these little towns, and there's bars and restaurants right on the trail. And it's basically you can go till you're either overheated with heat stroke or you're just out of breath. I mean, it just goes and goes and goes. It's a beautiful place to explore.
I might have to go check that out because there's another trail right here in Elkton. If you would ride down the street in 207, it's like a long bike trail. But the thing is, they don't blow it off. So I think I went there to go take a walk, just go check it out. But there were so many pine needles all over the place. I was like, well, I couldn't rollerblade here unless I brought my own leaf blower.
And it's really for bicycles.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, because one of my friends was like, oh, I want to go rollerblading over there. I was like, yeah, that would be great if I wasn't going to, eat shit every 2 seconds.
And you will.
But yeah, I wish I had a motorcycle. Maybe one day I'll go rent one. Do you have to have a license to rent one?
Most rental places will require a motorcycle endorsement on your license.
Oh, shit. Yes. Oh, well, whatever. It's fine.
I know Harley does down at Bike Week. I'm not sure if everybody does, but the state of Florida treats a motorcycle just like a driver's license. If you're on the roads, you have to have that motorcycle endorsement to be legal.
Yeah. No, I mean, well, they're heavy as shit. My friend had one.
Oh,
She
you
and
can
her
get
husband.
some light ones.
Yeah, my friend and her husband both had them, and I like literally just like stood on it just for funsies, and then I was like, dude, I don't want one of these.
Yeah. Well, they make now. You got your electric bikes.
I know. My
Those
next
things are
door.
so fast and crazy.
Yeah,
They're like a motorcycle with all the weight.
I know, but I like the noise.
Yeah. There's something about that noise.
I would have to get like speakers on the side of my e-bike, and it would just be like, brum, 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 brum.
Interesting. That might be a thing to think about.
Like a South Park episode.
Yeah.
I would just be on it. Did you ever see that there was like a South Park episode, like they're kids, and they're on their bicycles, and they're just rolling up to the other kids, like,
Funny.
little
Funny.
biker gang.
Yeah.
So funny. I love South Park. I don't watch it too regularly anymore, but I did back in the day. But anyways, yeah. So I think we have to wrap this up here. I really appreciate your time so much. Y'all should join the Marine Corps League. You have to join it. If you're not, you're going to come to whenever it is that we have our next thing. We're going to be doing some sort of Firehouse Subs night. One of these nights we're trying to set up for like a Monday night they do these types of events. And then Toys for Tots. So if you want to donate some toys, just Google my name and my address and you'll find me. Or also David Vara right here. You can find him too. He's in Heritage Park. I'm just kidding.
Well, if you're outside of St. Johns County, there's a Marine Corps League near you. You don't have to be a Marine. That is the main members, of course. You can be any military, or we have also associates. That is Amber, our local civilians that also want to support our veterans. So if you're not in St. John's, please find a league to join, and the veterans could use your support.
Yeah. So thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me,
and
Amber.
I'll see you at our next meeting.
Sure will.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. See you next time. Bye-bye.